Hey guys, this is Derek with Blue Collar Chess, and today I'm going to take you through kind of like a training session, you know. So I'm going to do about 15-20 minutes of the Checkmate Patterns Manual. I'm going to do I'm just going to do 2 puzzles of the Visualise 1 because I only have a couple left of the entire course. And then I'm going to do, you know, 10 to 15 minutes of the Wood Pecker Method 2 positional play. And I'm not going to talk a lot during this, and most of it's going to be kind of a stream of conscience type of thing. I'm not really doing this to teach. This is just, or I'm not teaching this stuff because we'll be going through the puzzles at the end with what the author says. I am just showing you how I'm training. So, but to give you a little, backstory of the day, I've already worked today. I'm pretty tired, but I want to put in a little bit of time for chess. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do this for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And so essentially, this is what it looks like, man. This is blue collar chess, guys. You work, you come home, do a couple things, you sit down, you try to play some chess, you try to get a little bit better, and you do it while you're exhausted. You shouldn't. So if you can do it when you're not exhausted, that's a much better time to practice or play chess for sure. Alright guys, without further ado, we're going to get into the courses here. Alright guys, so I'm going to do about, 15-20 minutes of the Checkmate Patterns Manual. And I've already gone through a lot of this course. So I'm just going to skip to where I'm at, which is the puzzles and exercises. And I'm going to start there. Go, yep. Alright, so what's happening here? Black to play. Yeah, so I think this is this right here. Yep. Now he's going to go there, and you're going to check him here. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get him down here to force either a rook and rook mate or a king to g6 mate. So I would assume it's going to be this here. Yep. Now since he's going there, you're going to force it here. Yep. Yeah, so he's got the, so how does that work? So you can do it a couple different ways. It looks like you can do rook to h8 check, or you can do rook to d8 check first and rook h8. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I'll just do this one. Yeah, see, that's the alternative. So let's do this one. That's the alternative. What is, oh, so you can do it this way too. Oh. And there you go. Go on to the next one. Alright, so this is some combination of the queen and knight, I think. So probably queen to e3 check, right? So queen right there. The king has to move. He's only got one square right there. The knight can then go here. Whoop. Knight can go there. Check. only way out of checkmate is pawn takes knight, and then the rook slides over. So no way to. Nope. Yeah, so that's what that is. It looks like. And this is Greco's mate. So let's go on to the next one. This one's white to play. Alright. So let's look at this right here. Whoop. Where's the little system now? Knight takes, queen takes, check. You can go there, can't you? So the king can go there in that case. So rook there, knight takes, queen takes, check, king goes there. Bishop there, then what happens? Then you're essentially threatening mate. Alright. Of course, you can just play queen back there anyways, right? So, bishop check, then he goes there. Yeah, so that doesn't work at all. So never mind on that one, guys. This is check, knight takes, then bishop. So then king has to go. King can't go there. King can't go there. Can't go there. King has to go here. So then the queen takes the knight. Check. Then the king can go. Can't go there. Can't go to the square because it'll be a checkmate there. Can't go to that square because it's protected by the queen. If he goes here, yeah, okay, so that's it right there. Eventually, you just kind of like zigzag your queen over and checkmate him. All right, so there we go. And that's the key move. Then you take, ooh, alternative. Oh, you can just check. Can you just checkmate him here? Is that what's going on? I don't understand the point of doing this. Okay. So you come here, and this is checkmate too. After, oh, that's not checkmate. What's going on? That's checkmate. Whoops. Yep. Ah, my bad. How is that not checkmate too? Oh, because you can go to that square right there. Right. You won the queen, though, so I guess it's not terrible, but not a mate. Alright, going on to the next. Moved a little too fast on that one. And then, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a weird one. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be queen takes the rook, right? So queen takes rook, king takes rook, rook here, king there. So now the king's here in this variation after that check. So then what happens? There. And there's a rook here, check. King takes his pawn. So this rook comes up here, checks. The king that's here goes here, takes that pawn. And then rook here, checkmate, right? Yeah, that's how that works. Okay, so let's do that. It's called a lawnmower mate. Alright. Yeah, this one is just kind of a... You just want to open up the diagonal for the queen here. So you're going to do it with a check, because that's the most forceful way to do it. And then, yeah, so you're just going to do that. Check the king, king takes. Let's double check everything here. And queen here. Wow, I guess I didn't get it right. Alright. The pawn takes the king. And... Okay. I see the point of this. So yeah, so all of his escape squares are taken over. So now you're going to do this and checkmate. Yep. Alright. Alright, so what happens after queen takes knight? Queen takes knight. Oh, can go there, right? Yeah, so it's got to be queen takes knight. Oh. Ah. Yep, yep. Queen takes g6. Yeah, so now you can be some checks on this diagonal here. Yep. All right, man, I'm doing terrible in this. Let's see here. What happens if the queen goes there? So the queen goes there, you're threatening mate with the bishop. So rook has to come back. No, the bishop has to go there, right? Is that what happens? So then you're threatening mate with that. So yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah, alright. So I think you can take the pawn. So king takes pawn, bishop goes there, and that should be checkmate, right? After the queen blocks. Yeah, okay. And there we go. Alright. I'm going to do one more of these before I move on to something else. Oh, what's this? This looks like a... Alright, so you're going to do... No, I'm not sure. Check. Alright. The candidate moves I'm looking at is queen to g6. Rook takes pawn. So rook takes pawn, king takes rook. Oh, maybe that's what it is. So then it's... Nope. Nope, that's not it. Check. Check. And there's that, right? Oh, does that force mate? That might force mate. Hold on. So I'm thinking rook takes the pawn, king takes the rook. Bishop goes here, check. Bishop goes to e4, I mean check. King goes to... I don't think it matters. And then you play queen to g here. But then they have... but then it has knight to g5 though, blocking everything up. Or even queen to... So that doesn't work. Alright. So queen to g6. Queen to g6. Oh, it doesn't work either. Alright, so it's going to be something else, right? But that doesn't work. Takes g6, queen to h4. Jeez, man. It's probably super simple, guys, and I'm having a hard time seeing it. Rook takes pawn. Knight h6. guess you just gotta guess there, huh? Nope. I'll give us a little more time. Right. Oh, it doesn't work. How about that? So we'll just queen to f5 then. Queen to f5. Yeah, let's try that. Nope, incorrect. Alright. Take. Next. So rook takes here. Rook takes rook. And now check. Yep. This makes sense. Yep. On checkmate. Yeah, I was not seeing that. Alright. Let's do one more. Alright, so what's going on here? The rook and the queen are attacking that pawn. This rook is pinned. Alright, so what happens on queen to b4 check? Queen b4 check. He's got, yeah, what can he do there? So queen to b4. So queen here. Get this diagonal. This is all being covered by the rook. This is being covered by here. By this. This is being covered by the queen. So what's he do there? What's he do there? Check. Yeah, what does he do there? Does that. Okay, and then you just take. Alright. So they gave us an easy one there. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to stop this part here and go on to my next phase. Alright guys, now I'm going to work on a couple visualization exercises. This is Visualise 1 by Benedictine, I believe was the author's name. Well, I want to give these guys credit. So I haven't been using this one too much. I was maybe a couple years ago when I was just trying to increase my visualization. I actually really like this course. As you can see, I'm almost done with it. So I'm going to finish it up today. I'm going to do the last two exercises. So the way you use this course is you visualize these moves. So he gives you this position, and then these moves, right, as you can see, and you just visualize, and then you pick what in this case, you find the best continuation. He'll ask you a question. It's usually pretty simple at that point. So this is like 7 moves deep. So once you get to this point, it's a pretty simple solution. So again, just pause the video. You don't need to sit here with me and do this, but all right. Okay, so rook to c8, queen to e6 check, so queen to f7, then queen takes e5, then rook to e8, then queen to d4 right here, then bishop to b5, then rook to f2, or rook to f2, and bishop to b6, queen to b4, bishop takes e3. Oh, it's not check because the rook is there. Then queen takes b5, and queen takes b5, and knight takes e4, hitting the rook there, your bishop's still there, and f takes e4. So that should be bishop takes the rook check, I think. Or it could be rook takes check, I suppose. That could happen too. Oh, no, because the queen's on f2, actually. Right, the queen's on f2. So you take, okay, so I'm just going to run through that again. I think I already know it, but... Alright, so rook to c8. Then queen to e6 check. So then queen comes to f7. Then queen takes e5. Then rook to e8. Oh, right, because the rook goes to e8 anyway. So yeah, so rook goes to e8. Queen then goes to d4. Then bishop to b5, hitting the rook. Then rook to f2. Then bishop to b6. Then queen to b4. And then bishop takes e3. And then queen takes b5. Then knight takes e4. And f takes e4. So there should be a white queen here. Should be a rook here. A rook here. A queen here. And it should be... This bishop should be all the way up here. So that bishop should be up here. And then once that pawn takes, the queen is there. So that should be queen takes rook check, and then followed by queen to g1 checkmate, I think. So we're going to find out. Rook to c8. Nope, nope, nope. Rook to e8. Queen d4. Bishop b5. The rook. Rook goes there. And now bishop to b6. There. 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 Alright. So yeah, that's how it should be right there. Easy enough. Go on to the next one. So queen f5. So queen there. Rook takes a4. Rook takes a4. Queen takes a4. Wait, so queen f5. Rook takes a4. Rook takes a4. Queen takes a4. Rook to c6. Attacking the pawn. King to g7, protecting the pawn. Bishop to e4. So that's going to be a bishop queen battery there. Bishop queen, yep. So bishop e4, queen d1 checks, queen's down there now. King goes to g2, queen takes e2. Takes e2, rook goes to d6. Goes to d6. Not sure why the rook goes to d6, but F takes G3, Queen takes H7 check, and then King F8. Ah, so the rook came there, so the queen can check here. He's gonna go there. The queen's gonna come here and checkmate. That's what's gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna run through that one more time so everybody can follow it. So the queen's gonna go here. This rook is gonna take this pawn. This rook's gonna take that rook. The queen's gonna take that rook. And then rook's going to go to c6, putting pressure on this pawn. And then king's going to go to g7. And then bishop goes to e4. Then queen, the queen that's here goes to d1, check, and goes to g2. Queen then takes this pawn. And then rook comes to d6. And then f takes g3, and so then the queen takes g7, or h7 rather, then the king goes to f8, and then there's queen check, king there, then the queen there, checkmate. Okay, I think we got it. So queen f5, rook, and checkmate. All right. So now I'm going to go work on one last thing. I'm going to call it a day for my chess exercises. Alright guys, so I'm going to do 15 minutes of Wood Pecker Method 2, and I'm going to call it good for the day. Alright. So the point of the series isn't really for me to explain this stuff to you, because I'm going to be going through these books. So these are things that I am learning. So alright. Timer moves pretty fast on this one, huh? So I would like to open up my dark squared bishop is what I'd like to do, but I don't know if I see a great way to do that. I don't think taking the pawns or anything. So yeah, I don't think you should be sacrificing here. Doesn't feel right. Maybe an exchange sack though. So maybe you want to exchange sack right there. Yeah, I don't know if you get much though. Just prevent the knight coming in. God, what do you want to do? Yeah, maybe it is the exchange sack. Yeah, it's the exchange sack. Let's see what they say about this. Rook takes c3. So they say e6 was not a move in dragon style. The game was not subsequently drawn after further mutual errors, but at this point, f4. Yep. So the knight goes to c4, and you just trade that for the bishop, right? Yep. Then your rook takes c4, and f5. Yeah, that seems pretty good for white there. They got all these open lines. Yeah, all right. So rook takes c3. Then they're saying b takes c3. Queen takes c3, knight takes. Yeah, okay. So you win the pawn. I mean, you have compensation here. I'm not sure if it's a straightforward win, but it definitely something I might try in a game. And let's see here. So after bishop, or pawn takes, queen c7. So that makes a lot of sense because you're going to try to. So you're going to take that, you're going to take the pawn with the bishop. So I didn't want to debate whether or not black has enough compensation. The important thing in a game would be to recognize that the exchange sacrifice is the only option to offer a fighting chance. Okay, yeah. So I guess I see what he's doing there. So I think he's offering another line right here. So bishop h6, bishop takes h6, queen takes h6, queen b6 check. What's going on here? Alright, then king to a1, queen to a5, going after the pawn right there. So queen takes h5, yep. Then bishop to e6, threatening mate now. Knight to b3, queen to c3. Jesus, man, I don't know about this. King to b1, then rook to c8, then rook to g2, and a5. As one critical line which should eventually lead to a draw. Yeah, so I think honestly I'm going to chalk that puzzle up to I'm going to call that an I mean, it probably is the only way to, fight for the win there. All right, move on to the next one. Whoops. Yeah, so the things that stand out to me is knight f5. Like potentially putting some pressure on the king there. Maybe bishop d3. Just castle. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go bishop d3. I mean, knight f5 seems like something. Maybe even h4 in this position, huh? Yeah, maybe you play h4 in this position, actually. It's kind of... Yeah, let's try that. Nope. Alright. Yeah, knight f5. Yeah, so my first instinct was right. And so the idea is before the bishop can retreat to f8. So knight to f5. There. So I guess the idea is just to take the bishop now. So you just take the bishop, and probably the author's going to say something about having the bishop pair. And the knight looks nice, but after castle bishop f8, it will be kicked back to g7, g6 by g7, g6. Therefore, white should exchange on e7 and aim for gradual exploitation of the bishop pair. Yep, there you go. So that's a lot better than my h4 move for sure. Right, I'm gonna do a couple more of these. So these ones are pretty tough. I think that's kind of the thing. Like I'm kind of in that range now where I really need to start working on more positional stuff without losing my tactical edge, though, because I find that the more positional stuff that I look at, the less tactical I am. So I definitely have to strike a balance when I'm training. All right. No, honestly, I think here I'd play e5. One, it opens up the bishop. It potentially, if he takes, this pawn is now pretty weak. This pawn right here. So he'll have 1, 2, 3 pawn islands. You'll have 2. Yeah, I think I like e5. E5 looks like a pretty good move here. Yep. So e5, putting pressure on the d4 pawn before white has played e3, e4, which would make d4, d5 possible. Putting pressure on the d4 pawn before white has played e3, e4. Oh, which would make that pawn move. Okay, right. It is possible to start with rook d8. Yeah, I see that. But the rook move is less flexible. The rook may prove better on e8 to reinforce a possible e5, e4. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Let's go on to one more. Then I'll be honest with you, my brain is pretty toasted, so I'm not going to keep going. So this is interesting. So you've got like what appears to be a combination to break up the this pawn structure. So you've got right there threatening this pawn. So more than likely he'd bring it like that, I would think. Maybe they'd go there. Maybe he'd do that. you still got your bishop here, right? And then is that yeah, I'm not sure about that. Hold on. Well, I'm not sure. You could even just play like b6 and bishop to a4 or a6 rather. Trade off the bishops. I don't know if that's any good though. They're just like developing. I don't see why you'd play c5 there or rook anywhere. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play knight here. Nope. Oh, what is it? What is it? So it's c5, acting before white has castled. So queen g5 runs into knight f3. Yep. Queen takes g2. Bishop takes h7. Check. Right. Yeah, that can't be good. Yeah, because if the king takes that, you've got rook here. So the queen's only got one square at that point, which is there. And then you got the knight fork on g5. So c5. Let's see what he says about this move. So c5. So let's go check this out here. c5. So then knight e2. Yeah, what happens? Oh, I see. Okay. So this is the move I was missing right here, guys. So I was missing d4. So when I was looking at c5, I was like, what? Why would you play that? So what? Oh, so what happens here? I actually want to analyze this a little bit. All right. So here, let's see. What's the computer say? Computer says queen h5. Ah, that's interesting. It's really weird. Oh, because he's threatening checkmate. That makes sense. So you gotta play g6. Oh, yep, right there. So you gotta play g6. So then the queen's gonna go to e2. Yeah. And rook e8. Just increasing pressure there. Yep, makes a lot of sense. Now knight to f3. Probably g takes e3. Yep, no. Castle. Oh. So this is kind of a weird line. Yeah, I don't know if you guys didn't even see that actually. Ah, you can't see it. No, you can. You can see it. Good. Alright. So. Yeah, I mean, the computer's giving an evaluation. That's decent for black, I suppose. Alright. So let's see here. So let's go back. Make sure you can see this. Yep. Alright, guys. So that's that's almost an hour of working on exercises. I showed you 3 courses that I'm working through. The last one was Wood Pecker Method 2. Then we had the Checkmate Pattern Manual. And what was the last one? I already forgot. Alright guys, just to recap. We worked with the Checkmate Patterns Manual, we worked with Visualise 1, and we worked with the Wood Pecker Method 2 positional play. I think this is a good combination. I probably won't do this every time. I'm also going to work on some Van Perlo in-game tactics stuff. Not today, but the next time I sit down with like 45 minutes or an hour to kill. And I'll probably work with that and some Visualise and some Wood Pecker Methods instead of the Checkmate Patterns. I always like to put in some positional play because I'm a little bit weaker in that than I am in the tactics, especially like the simple tactics. Like I tend to be pretty good in like the 1 or 2 move tactics. It's when you start getting into like the 3 to 5 moves, and so USCF I'm about 17. I'm 1770 or 1780. I forget now. I'd have to look that up. But so for me to reach the next steps, it's really going to be a lot of calculation and being able to visualize the board properly, so I'm not dropping pieces once I get further into my calculations. Because I'm not really dropping pieces now. Like it's not something that I really do, especially in slower games. I mean, if I'm tired, maybe. But so for the most part, for me to get to the next level, it's really working on bad habits. It's not moving before I've calculated everything. It's following one calculation all the way through, then moving on to the next branch and trying to keep that clear in my head. Instead, I have a habit of kind of jumping around a bit. And during a game when I'm playing, one thing that's helped me a lot is just really asking myself, like, what is my opponent's next move if I make that move? And playing the game like that. Like, what would I do if I was my opponent? What are his plans? All right, guys, this is Derek with Blue Collar Chess. Talk to you later.